The catastrophe of 1945 remains one of the most devastating episodes in American naval annals. The sea is a crypt for lost colossi, or rather, the remnants of submarines claimed by eternity. Among these submerged relics are those destroyed during World War II, either struck by adversary torpedoes or lost to mechanical breakdowns. From clandestine operations obscured by time to forgotten wrecks unearthed years later, these submarines are more than debris. They are untold stories awaiting rediscovery. Recently, salvage divers uncovered a massive World War II shipwreck, and its contents astonished the globe, proving that even after decades beneath the waves, some mysteries refuse to remain hidden. Today, we'll explore 20 such sunken submarines. Concealed beneath Norway's frigid waters lies one of the most awe-inspiring wrecks, the Frankenwald. In January 1940, ferocious currents drove the enormous German freighter onto jagged rocks off Norway's western shore, sealing its doom. Yet, what captivated divers wasn't merely its sinking, it was the discoveries within. Deep inside, explorers found vast cargo bays still brimming with coiled cables, machinery, and forsaken gear, preserved as if poised for their next journey. Remarkably, the engine room and steering mechanisms remain nearly pristine, an eerie steel sanctuary where colossal pistons, conduits, and control boards stand mute. Some divers reported encountering doors swaying softly in the currents, staircases leading to oblivion, and chambers where history clings to every surface. Resting almost upright on the ocean floor, the Frankenwald feels less like wreckage and more like a phantom vessel frozen in calamity. Thanks to the icy, transparent waters, every haunting detail is visible, making it one of the most surreal underwater time capsules. Some claim the Frankenwald doesn't seem deserted. It feels alive. The HMS Trooper's Enigma resurfaced after 8 decades. Constructed for covert, high-stakes missions, this T-class Royal Navy submarine excelled in stealth operations in perilous waters. But in October 1943, during its 8th patrol in the Aegean Sea, it vanished without a trace. That mystery persisted for 81 years until 2024, when Greek diver and maritime scholar Kostas Thoctorides led a team that broke the silence. They located the wreck resting over 800 feet below the surface between Ikaria and Danusa. The evidence was tragic yet definitive. The trooper had collided with a German naval mine. The blast shattered the vessel, hurling its conning tower from the hull, while the crew quarters bore scars of a violent impact. Open hatches and a lowered periscope hinted the sub was surfaced when struck, perhaps moments after its final mission. The loss is even more heartrending given its prior feat. The trooper had just delivered 3 Allied operatives, gear, and a radio to aid the Greek resistance in Nazi-occupied Athens. They completed the mission but never returned home. Unlike many of its counterparts, U-995 didn't corrode beneath the waves. Instead, this World War II German submarine evaded destruction and now serves as a living exhibit on the shores of Lebow, Germany. Launched in 1943, it operated in the war's chaotic final chapters, when U-boats faced relentless Allied pursuit. Few survived. The survival rate for German submariners was bleak, with only 1 in 4 returning. U-995 was among the fortunate. Post-war, it was transferred to Norway, serving until 1965. Rather than being scrapped, it was returned to Germany, not as a weapon but as a monument. Today, visitors traverse its cramped hull, treading paths once walked by wartime crews, surrounded by the groans of history. When American researchers found the I-400 submarine off Oahu's coast in 2013, they didn't merely uncover another World War II relic, they revealed a technological wonder lost to time. Part of Japan's covert Sentoku class, the I-400 was no ordinary submarine. It was a submersible airbase, equipped with a watertight hangar and capable of launching 3 bombers for transoceanic surprise attacks. Longer than a football field, this sub was a desperate innovation in the war's waning years. It never fulfilled its purpose. After Japan's surrender, the U.S. Navy seized it and towed it to Pearl Harbor. Amid Cold War tensions, it was intentionally scuttled in 1946 to prevent Soviet access to its advanced technology. For over half a century, it lay over 2,000 feet below the Pacific. When the Hawaii Undersea Research Laboratory rediscovered it, even veteran divers were awestruck. Its vast silhouette loomed from the depths like a specter from a bygone era. The USS Grayback earned a fearsome reputation during World War II, amassing 14 enemy sinkings and 8 battle stars. One of the U.S. Navy's most formidable attack submarines, it vanished in February 1944 while patrolling the East China Sea. No distress signal or wreckage was found, just 80 men lost. For decades, the Grayback was merely missing, its fate sealed by the sea. The Lost 52 project, dedicated to finding American submarines lost in the war, changed that. Using underwater drones and re-examined Japanese wartime records, researchers uncovered a critical error. A mistranslated digit had skewed search coordinates by over 100 miles. Correcting this led to the Grayback's discovery in 2019, 1,400 feet down off Okinawa. A memorial plaque confirmed its identity, bringing closure after 75 years. In the Arctic's frozen expanse during World War II, HMS Edinburgh was more than a warship, it was a treasure vessel. In April 1942, it departed the Soviet Union under heavy escort, secretly carrying over 4.5 tons of gold bullion to fund Allied supplies. The mission was perilous, the waters treacherous, and the German Navy was aware of the stakes. A U-boat's torpedo struck first, and Edinburgh's crew battled flooding compartments and failing systems, struggling toward Murmansk's safety. A second torpedo proved fatal, shattering her structure and sending her and her golden cargo into the icy abyss. For decades, the wreck remained inaccessible, locked beneath frigid waters and ice. In the 1980s, a daring salvage mission braved Arctic conditions to recover some of the treasure. Yet most of the ship and her crew's sacrifice remain untouched, a frozen vault in the ocean's harshest cemetery, where gold's gleam pales against the cost of war. The USS Wahoo epitomized ferocity under the command of the legendary Dudley "Mush" Morton. It ravaged enemy shipping in the Pacific with audacity bordering on recklessness, targeting merchant ships, troop transports, and warships alike. Morton's daring patrols made Wahoo a symbol of American dominance beneath the waves. But luck is fleeting. In October 1943, after attacking deep in Japanese-controlled waters, Wahoo vanished. For years, families awaited news that never came, while historians speculated about mines, depth charges, or misfortune. In 2006, divers located her nearly intact but battle-scarred wreck in the Sea of Japan. Every dented bulkhead told of her final desperate moments. Wahoo's last dive marked the end of a relentless predator that once ruled the Pacific depths. Nicknamed "Hit 'Em Again Harder," the USS Harder was a terror to Japanese forces, sinking 5 destroyers in 4 frenetic days, a record unmatched by any other submarine. Under the bold leadership of Samuel Dealey, Harder struck dangerously close to targets, crippling Japan's naval defenses. Dealey's aggressive tactics made him a legend but also a target. On August 24, 1944, during her 6th patrol near Dasal Bay, Philippines, Harder's luck ran out. Japanese forces depth-charged her relentlessly, sending her and her 79 crew to the ocean floor. Her wreck remained a mystery until 2024, when deep-sea explorers found her remarkably intact 3,000 feet down, closing an 80-year chapter. Few stories rival the tragedy of the USS Indianapolis. In July 1945, the cruiser completed a top-secret mission, delivering atomic bomb components that would later devastate Hiroshima. Days after, a Japanese submarine ambushed her. 2 torpedoes ripped through her hull, sinking her in 12 minutes and casting nearly 900 men into the Philippine Sea. No rescue came swiftly. For 4 harrowing days, survivors battled thirst, saltwater poisoning, and shark attacks. Of nearly 1,200 sailors, only 316 survived, their endurance a testament to sheer will. Found in 2017, the Indianapolis battered wreck is a chilling reminder of triumph and unimaginable suffering. A ship that helped end a war, only to leave its crew fighting the merciless sea. The USS Tang was a legend in its era, sinking more enemy vessels in 5 patrols than any other American submarine during World War II. Led by the audacious Richard Dick O'Kane, Tang terrorized Japanese convoys with pinpoint torpedo strikes. Yet fate is unforgiving. In October 1944, after another string of victories, Tang fired a faulty torpedo that circled back and struck her own hull. With no time to escape, the explosion sent the triumphant sub and most of her crew to the bottom of the Formosa Strait. Only 9 men survived, captured by the Japanese and held until the war's end. In 2003, divers located the wreck, a mute testament to a cruel twist of destiny. Tang fell not to enemy fire but to the unpredictable hazards of war. Some wrecks, like Germany's U-864, remain perilous due to their cargo. Sunk in 1945 off Norway's coast during Operation Caesar, this U-boat carried advanced weaponry and over 60 tons of mercury for Japan. It never reached its destination. The British submarine HMS Venturer torpedoed it in the only recorded instance of one submerged sub sinking another. Hidden until 2003 near Fedge Island, the wreck's leaking mercury threatened the ocean. Raising it risked further contamination, so Norway entombed it under rock and concrete, sealing a toxic relic of war. Japan's Yamato was the largest battleship ever built, a steel titan with 9 18.1-inch guns designed to dominate the Pacific. But by 1945, air power had rendered battleships obsolete. On a desperate mission to defend Okinawa, Yamato sailed with barely enough fuel for a one-way trip. American dive bombers and torpedo planes overwhelmed her, and after multiple explosions, she capsized, taking over 3,000 sailors to the East China Sea's depths. Today, her shattered remains symbolize ambition crushed by warfare's evolution. The SS Richard Montgomery is no silent relic. This World War II Liberty ship sank in 1944 near the Thames estuary, laden with over 1,400 tons of munitions capable of leveling towns. Salvage attempts halted when the risk of detonation became clear. Rusting masts still pierced the surface, a stark warning of the explosive threat below. Experts caution that a blast could trigger one of history's largest non-nuclear explosions. The Montgomery remains a guarded, corroding time bomb, proof that some dangers lurk unseen. In May 1945, German submarine U-534 fled Denmark with a mysterious cargo, possibly gold, secret technology, or escaping Nazis. British aircraft ended her escape with depth charges, sinking her in the Kattegat Sea. Many crew members survived, escaping the wreck before it sank. Rediscovered in 1993, the remarkably intact U-534 was raised and now stands at England's Woodside Ferry Terminal. Visitors walk its decks, peering into a war machine caught between history and legend. During 1942's Operation Drumbeat, German U-166 torpedoed the passenger ship Robert E. Lee off Louisiana, carrying survivors of prior U-boat attacks. The U.S. Navy's PC-566, under Lieutenant Herbert G. Claudius, retaliated with depth charges, sinking the sub. Claudius was dismissed and sent for retraining, his claims doubted. In 2001, Oil industry surveys found U-160 SIXS wreck 5,000 feet down, exactly where Claudius reported. Robert Ballard later confirmed it, vindicating Claudius long after his career ended. HMS Thetis embarked on a routine trial near Wales in June 1939 with 103 men aboard, including engineers. A fatal mix of human error and mechanical failure caused flooding, and the submarine plummeted nose-first to the seabed. Trapped, the overcrowded crew suffocated as oxygen dwindled. Rescue efforts faltered, and only 4 escaped via a narrow chamber. The remaining 99 perished in a metal tomb. With World War II's outbreak, Thetis tragedy faded, a grim reminder of how small errors lead to catastrophe. The French submarine Surcouf was a maritime marvel, armed with 2 203mm guns, torpedoes, and a seaplane. The world's largest submarine at its launch, it served the Free French during World War II. On February 18, 1942, en route to Tahiti, it vanished in the Caribbean Sea with 130 crew, including 4 British personnel. Theories suggest a collision with the American freighter Thompson Likes or accidental destruction by Allies. Surcouf, built for dominance, became a ghostly enigma lost in wartime chaos. The USS Grunion, a Gatto-class submarine, vanished near the Aleutian Islands in July 1942 after rescuing survivors and engaging enemy forces. For decades, Lieutenant Commander Manner Jim Abel and his 70-man crew were missing in action. Abel's sons, Bruce, Brad, and John, launched a search, locating the wreck in 2007 at 2,700 feet. In 2019, the Lost 52 project found the missing bow and created a 3D model, honoring the crew through technology and family resolve. For nearly 80 years, HMS Urge's fate was debated, sunk off Libya or near Malta. In 2019, divers found her wreck 350 feet underwater off Malta's coast. By 2021, high-definition footage confirmed her identity, with Urge etched on her hull. Funded by Bridgend, Wales, Urge served in Malta's embattled 10th Flotilla. Her final mission to Egypt ended in mine damage, claiming all 43 aboard, including a war correspondent. Now a war grave, Urge rests near the shores she defended. German U-505 terrorized Atlantic convoys until June 4, 1944, when American forces captured it off West Africa, the first enemy vessel seized at sea by the U.S. Navy since 1812. Inside were codebooks, maps, and an Enigma machine, a vital intelligence haul. Towed secretly to America to protect code-breaking efforts, U-505 was later displayed at Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry. A captured relic, it stands as a testament to one of World War II's greatest intelligence triumphs. This concludes our exploration of 20 remarkable World War II submarine wrecks. Which of these submerged giants captured your imagination? Share your thoughts and we'll dive into more stories soon.